Hello, hello, hello. How we doing? Larvy, did I see Guitar London's name there as well? I did. Chloe, how you all doing? Hopefully you are all good. And hopefully you are all more awake than I am. Oh, that's nice. 120 buckets of sodium persulfate. I'm all good with that. Although that does tell me one thing. I need to go and shut that off. How's everyone doing? How was everyone's, I believe it's Friday today? I think? Oh wait, did I already set that up to shut off? Oh, I did. Hey, I thought ahead, apparently. Beautiful. Okay. You into MV now, properly, Guitar Lilin? Congrats. All right. I AFK'd a little bit yesterday, and not for too long though. Only for about like an hour or so. We're still going through a ridiculous amount of thorium, and we still have 12,000 plutonium to go through as well. So we've got plenty of thorium plutonium for a while now, which is good. We left off yesterday, though, working on these. Figuring out how we were going to make these so they weren't running constantly. Although, honestly, I don't think it's going to matter if they are. Like, I really don't think it's going to matter. But until I know the resources are that are going into sending them off are stable, I'm going to limit how frequently they run. But I was looking at it. I was thinking that like one of the things that was going to be a bit of a problem with like these gemstone sensors, since these require like diamonds, stainless steel, and like chromium, and I was thinking that chromium might be a bit of an issue. But looking at it, chromium, this takes half an ingot of chromium per one of these missions, and the mission that we're sending it off to do is this one, which gives us a stack and a half of ruby. Which I think by my calculations, we come out with around about, from this mission alone, we come out with around about 177. So we're going to be making a profit on ruby. So on chromium, which is good, because that's one of the things that I'm always concerned about, because we haven't got a steady source of that at the moment. Not sure, but every time you want to do something, you're locked behind needing another machine and running out of aluminium. Oh no. Soon you'll have plenty of it though, Guitar, and you'll have more aluminium than you know what to do with. Right, I was in the process of upgrading a few of my cells before we started the stream. Now, my benzene cell is currently full, so I want to upgrade that. Dodge, how are you doing? Come on, there we go, right. So yeah, I wanted to upgrade that. I've been going through a few of my other cells, make sure we have enough space in everything. Like, I can't go through everything, unfortunately. But there are certain things like if I wish there was a way we could order, I could somehow order these by amount in them. I don't think there's a way to do that though, unfortunately. Ethylene is getting a little bit full. Glowstone is full, but we kind of knew that anyway. Lithium is full. There's so many things are full here, and like anything else that's going into it will be getting voided at the moment. Most of it doesn't matter, but there's probably a few things we could do with sorting out. I would like to know if our miner is still mining, though. What's going to be the easiest way to tell that? Probably from here. Or not, because we can't get into it. Oh yeah, it's still mining plutonium. There is so much plutonium in those plutonium veins. It's ridiculous. Right? It's absolutely nuts. And I am incredibly happy about it. All right, let's get rid of that. And clear this out. those away. Right, so today we want to get the rest of the things set up, ready for passiving the micro miners. We figured out how we're going to do these. I think I might see if I can find a way to move the output and input from here elsewhere. Possibly onto here, but I don't know how that'll go. Just because if we want to, we can then stack on top of these. And you realize you must be an MV proper, considering you're kind of close to the tree to being able to make NHV. Honestly, I would say, like, as soon as you've made your first MV circuits and made your first MV machines, at that point you can consider yourself in MV. And the same goes for any of the tiers. Once you've made your first kind of machines or anything that runs on that power tier, using that power tier, so not counting the EBF, really. Since you initially power that with 4 LV amps. As soon as you're using that power tier to power something within that tier, I think at that point you can consider yourself in that power tier. I think that's a reasonable metric for it. Right, where are we going to set up the auto-crafting stuff for this? I mean, there's a few other things we need to set up anyway. We need to set up rose gold and chromium EBFs. Turns out we actually already have rose gold dust being passively generated. We've been using it obviously in something else, so I'm going to increase the amount we store of that. And then we're going to have to set up an EBF for that and an EBF for the chromium. And then I've got to figure out where I'm actually going to put those EBFs because we are running out of space. This space here is, there and there is kind of reserved for iridium and osmium. And then we can probably, this spot here is reserved for nichrome. So I think we'll have these spots here for rose gold and chromium. What do I need? What was I looking for? I was looking for something to mark this out with, so that will do. They've been in MV for quite a while. So that's where the nichrome's going to go, so it will be... It would come up to there, but this would get... This is where we've currently been doing any... Actually, we're not doing any iridium or anything else in there right now, are we? Because it's all being done through these, I believe. If we just make another 16 iridium ingots. Yeah, it's going through here. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that, but it's going to be going in here, basically. At the moment, you're praying your last 5 aluminium. Praying your last 5 aluminium will be enough to get that ethylene. I will say it will be worth passiving ethylene, or at least polyethylene. Or both. Well, technically both, since you need ethylene for polyethylene. As soon as you can, because polyethylene makes a lot of things quite cheap. Or at least a fair amount cheaper. Right. I need 2 more EBFs. Which will go here and here. Let's clear out the bottom of here. Something's not in your thoughts yet. That's fair. That is fair. Right, what coils do we need for these? Rose golds, I can't imagine only needs cupronickel. And I don't think we need anything higher than whatever we need for chromium. We're going to be running these at IV. Or do we want to just run them at EV? I think EV will be fine. And if we just use... I probably will upgrade to... what have we got in the way of coils? We need 26 for whatever we use. We'll probably do them as nichrome. Wait, actually, will nichrome... What do nichrome coils give us heat-wise? 3600 Kelvin. That needs 1600, so that's 2000 Kelvin above. So we will get one perfect overclock out of this. What about for the chromium? 1700. Yeah, I think we should. I think we get one perfect overclock. And possibly a bit more as well. Because I didn't actually remember. I forgot about the every voltage tier above MV. So if we're MV to HV, EV, we're doing them at EV. That's another 200 Kelvin on top. That'll take it up to 3800 Kelvin. Yeah, so we'll get one perfect overclock out of both of them if we use nichrome coils. Are we just going to need 14 more? We haven't got nichrome passive yet, but that's fine. There goes. Right, what else do we need? We need an input bus. No, we don't. We need an output bus. No, we don't. We do need an input bus. God damn it. We need an input bus. We need 2 input buses and an output bus. But yeah, we should have the microminers done by the end of today. And we should be able to be processing everything from them as well. What this machine needs is more cowbell. Doesn't everything need more cowbell? You know what? I know that reference, but I cannot for the life of me remember where it's from. I remember something to do with Christopher Walken. And that's about it. Right. Maintenance hatches. Hey, Tribble. How's it going? I'd been doing the output buses at the bottom, right? I have. Right. So output bus will go there. This will give us enough space, won't it? For yeah, that works. That's fine. I don't like the fact that, or I can't work out if I like the fact that it goes four EBFs, then 3, then 2. I can't work out if I like that fact or not. I like the kind of symmetry of it, or the pattern of it, but it just feels a little weird. After appointment for mum today, now just tablets and her check-up in 6 months. That sounds positive.
I heard cowbell is needed here.
Cowbell is always needed, Bug. Thank you so much, man. 71 months. Can we get some love and hearts in the chat? How are you doing, Bug? I'm assuming probably tired, given that it's probably very early in the morning for you. And you have probably not slept yet. There you go. Next to Eric. Thanks so much, Bug. I appreciate it. Hope I'm doing okay. I'm better than yesterday, but mostly just exhausted today. I've been trying to get get my sleep sorted, so I'm sleeping more regularly and at reasonable times, and actually making sure when I go to bed, like I've not got screens or anything like that, and trying to make sure when I go to bed I sleep rather than going to bed then lying there for 6 hours not able to. And that bit's been working. The getting to sleep bit's been working. Unfortunately, though, I feel even more tired now that I'm sleeping better. So I got no idea what's going on there. It was not what I expected to happen. Only 2 a.m. Oh, only 2 a.m. bug. So they're not sleeping at least for another few hours then. Those don't need to be there. Wait, why have I only got one muffler hatch here? Did I only make one? Or did I put a muffler hatch somewhere else randomly? I don't see a muffler hatch anywhere else. Alright. Let's face those into there. Yep, all the EBFs. And there's probably going to be another layer of them on top of this as well. So I think we've got space for that. Hold on, let me make sure. I'd like there to be, if possible, I would like there to be 3 blocks of space in there, but I don't know if we're going to have a space for that. Might have to stick it to 2, so... Oh no, we would probably just about have enough, technically. If we even if we had 3 blocks of space there. Although, honestly, like, realistically, we could probably get away with just 1. The Earth Defense Force. Why does that ring a bell? Alright, so... You want to come down here. And across here. And then across here. Perfect. Alright. Get rid of that. We get rid of that. Do I have enough bit facades? I do. See, this is nice when it's just like that, but as soon as we put the bloody monitors on there, it looks horrible. Look at that. Just, why? I appreciate the lurk, Ziddick. Excavating and better organizing the base. Is that what you've been up to, Hideyoshi? How's it go? How has that been going? We're doing these EV, right? Yeah. By the way, there's a reason why I'm trying to do as many things at the moment on EU peer-to-peers. Not just because it's a fantastic way of transferring power. I want to know if there is kind of a point where these start to become incredibly laggy. So I'm just basically shoving in as many as I can. Do I want to do the Nichrome now? No, we'll do the Nichrome later. I can't be bothered to do it now. Alright, we do need to get under here, though. There's like 5 things to do, and they're all terrible. What are the 5 things? It can't be that bad, though, surely. Right, we'll do chromium on this side. We're going to need to get storage for the chromium ingots as well, I guess. If we just say, I don't know, 256 chromium ingots. And then we'll do the same for rose gold. Hey, Cesari. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm just more tired. That's pretty much it at the minute. I'm just fucking exhausted. Oh, wait, I need that chromium ingots, don't I? Better. Okay. How are you doing, though, Cesari? Setting up wetware circuit line and clean room, setting up HPCA computers, crystal matrix line, a bed and aqueduct line. Which is the least horrible of them? I get started on that. Once you get started on one of them, then the rest will hopefully just kind of fall into place.
Oh, I see.
That's
Running
always my
away!
hope, anyway.
You yellow bastard!
It's time for you to bounce off to bed since it's almost 2:30 a.m. All right, no worries, Bug. Thank you so much for the resub. Enjoy your rest. And we will see you soon. Right, I said chromium on this side, right? I'm just going to double check that. Yeah, chromium on that side. Let me just make an ingot for now. And rose gold on there. Right, I'm just going to do... I'm not going to need chromium for much later. You know, I'll make 4K cells for both of them just to be on the safe side. I don't imagine we're going to need a whole lot of rose gold later, but we might do with the chromium. So how do you miss an 82% flank shots? Because even at 82%, there's still an 18% chance you're going to miss. So it is still possible to do it. The amount of times I've been playing poker and been a 95% favourite to win a hand with one card to come and still lost. Probability sucks sometimes. Alright, so chromium, rose gold. %chance to hit is a guaranteed miss. Not sure that's quite accurate either, but... Alright, so this we want to output... chromium. And this we want to output rose gold. And they need to be... I'm assuming circuit 1. In fact, I know they're circuit 1. I don't think I need to check. There we go. Right, and let's make sure these do turn off when we need them to. Yep. Yep. Beautiful. Okay. There's the rose gold and the chromium. How long are they taking, by the way? 11 seconds for the chromium, 6 for the rose gold. That's not too bad. That is more than quick enough. Probability can kiss your ass. I've said that on many occasions as well. It never listens. It still just likes to screw me over regardless of how much I abuse it. Because the high probability shots that hit don't stand out, so you don't remember. Yeah, that's a fair point. That is a very good point, Pass. Right. Hang on. Bear with me a second. Right. Okay, so what is next? Next up, we've got to figure out where we're actually going to set all this up and what we need to set up. So these are all the things that we need to have passively generating. I'd also like to do the other drilling kits as well. Got the basic drilling kits. We've already got LV circuits passived and the motors. So we're just going to need to do the double plate glass. I still don't know if we've got glass coming in from anywhere or not. Oh, shit. We also need glue. Have I got glue being made anywhere? Well, I've got 2,685 buckets of it. So I guess we have from somewhere. All right, well, I'm pretty sure we have. And we've got 196,000 sticky resin as well, so glue shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, all of that should be fine. What I'll probably do is, like, any additional things that we need to make, like, most things will just be, like, a one machine thing that we need to do. So the double plates, we'll just put down, like, an EV bender and then use that to make the double steel plates, and then we'll just keep a stack of those in the machine and then transfer them over as needed. Advanced drilling kit we don't technically need right now, but we may as well do. Tempered glass we're not passiving, but we should be, that shouldn't be a problem because again it's just an arc furnace and oxygen. So that's fine. I don't think we need to do the elite ones yet, although I guess oh no we can't because we haven't got an aqueduct yet, so we'll leave a space for those. I think what we want to do is we'll have like for the drilling kits, we'll just have like stack three assemblers on top of each other. Oh, we also need an LUV assembler as well. I didn't notice that. We'll stack like three assemblers on top of each other, and we'll use those for making these, and then we'll do all the other individual parts off to one side. Same with the drill heads. We'll do a bunch of forming presses. A bunch of forming presses over to off to one side. And then we'll do like the double steel plates, which we need for that as well. So we need double steel plates in a couple of places. Aluminium plates. And then obviously titanium plates and rose gold plates. And then the power thrusters. There is regular power thrusters, which we might need to do. Possibly need dilithium at some point, and possibly fluoride, but probably not. But those will be easy enough to set up if we need to. And then for the power thrusters, we should need chromium rotors. That's another reason we need the chromium. We'll just keep like a stack of all of these items kind of in stock. Then we'll need to do benders for the stainless steel rings, lathes for the rods, sorry, extruders for the rings, extruders for the rotors, the gold cables. We just have to do a wire mill into an assembler. And that's fine. All of this stuff is relatively easy to do. The only like bit that we haven't 100% figured out yet was the lens. I think we're going to end up using diamonds for it though. Which is fine. Okay, right. So let's work out all the individual components we need put together. So, okay, yeah, that was. So double steel plates we need, aluminium plates we need, titanium plates we need, rose gold plates we need. I am Bender. Please insert girder. Could go mad and do a peer-to-peer forest like you. We are potentially going to have the... Well, in fact, we probably are going to have this on a sub-network. I think it's going to be the best way to do it. We are also probably going to have to set up our first sub-network today as well. Off the ore processing one. But we'll look at that later. Right, the basic drilling kits. So we've already got double steel plates. We've already got motors. We've already got LV circuits. Already got glass. So we don't really need anything else for this. We might need to do the glass eventually, because I don't think we have glass being made anywhere or inserted into the system anywhere. So we might have to go and fix that at some point. But for right now, it's fine. For that, we don't need anything extra. For these, we need to be making the stainless steel rings, stainless steel rods, chromium rotors, and the gold cable, because we already have the motors. And that's really it. There's only a few things we need to do. Pattern provider. The thing is, though, pattern provider implies doing things from using patterns and essentially kind of request crafting or using requesters, which we don't have access to yet. But we have been using pattern peer-to-peers in other places, or we were using pattern peer-to-peers in other places. I think that all the places we were using them. Oh, no, actually, we're still technically using them. We are, well, I say technically, we are definitely using them. Still using them on here. Because these have all got pattern peer-to-peers that are going into basically all of these molecular assemblers. We are using pattern peer-to-peers. Come on, where's the hole? Hey, how you doing? I'm thinking what I might do is I might kind of split this room in half. Just so we've got enough space in this corner to do one of the... But then... I don't really... Yeah, we'll have enough space in this corner to do one of some of the 5x5. The microverse projectors if needed. And we'll have those, we can have those in there, and then we'll just split this room in half, and then we'll just have like a little alleyway going into here with machines down both sides. The peer-to-peer for us is just like 100 pattern providers with every machine pattern in the game. See, that for me, just like, that would be so tedious for me to do. Because 99% of the time, most of those machines, you're probably only going to need to do it like a couple of times at most, if that. So just to me, it just like, I don't see a point in doing that. Obviously nothing wrong with doing it, but just for me, I don't see a point. Because in the long run, it's not actually going to save me any time. I'll spend more time doing patterns that I don't need to do than I'd save. Three, four, five. Yeah, if we just come down to there, that should be enough space. Hey, Hubris. Meh. That sounds about how I feel at the minute, Em. I feel physically, I feel a lot better than I did, although I am now just tired. Right, okay. Hopefully this is enough space to fit everything in that we need to do. It should be. I think I'm going to do all of the individual parts, so like over on one side, and then all of the actual components on the other. So we're going to need, what, 4 benders. We're also going to need a bunch of drawers as well, aren't we? It's not going to give us a lot of space, though, at all, is it? Like 3 blocks either side, but that's fine. I think that's fine. And then if we make some drawers, I could do with some 1x1 drawers. Got 8. 8 things. And we do want downgrades on all these because we don't really need to store more than a stack of everything. Or technically, I guess it'll be 2 stacks, but... And I've just realised that's not going to work, so we're going to have to move this over by block. I don't think I'm going to have enough space in here, you know? Oh, no, we should have. Well, we've got enough space for, like, 2 columns of machines here. Because we're going to need to put an interface on the side of there. And then there's going to need to be an interface on the side of these, and then a storage bus connected to this. Or I guess we could just have a... we just use one storage bus and have a controller at the back. That would work as well. Or a controller at the front. No, we couldn't have a controller there, could we? Because it would be in the way of the interfaces. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Anyway. We do need interfaces. And done Abydos Star Technology. I have not. Wait, do I want to do this on a subnetwork? Do I need to do this on a subnetwork? I really don't, do I? Although the only thing is, I want these to only be available to... everything in here. I only want these available to the things in here. So yeah, I'm gonna have to use a subnetwork. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to use a subnetwork. I don't think there's any way around that, is there? Which in that case, that needs to be red. So I think just the things on here need to be on a subnetwork. Just like this stuff needs to be on a subnetwork. The final outputs can be on the main, going to be on the main network, but the sub parts of this need to be on a different network. Advanced chemical reactor and 4 aluminium left, so please no surprises. I'm sure you will be fine. Right, so we do that. Right, and what do you need to be able to see? I do need to give you power still, but we'll sort that out in a minute. That's always the case, though, isn't it? There's always one more thing you have to... there's always one more thing you have to make that you just, like, completely forgot about. Your board yesterday made all your tools out of neutronium. See, that's just showing off. I don't even have neutronium yet. That's the little Star Technology hubris, yeah. Quartz fiber. Well done. That's not where that was meant to go. There we go. Right. Okay, that should have some power now. Right, so what do we need to be able to see in here? Steel. We need to be able to see aluminium. We need to be able to see titanium. Need to be able to see rose gold. Stainless steel. Chromium. All right, we're also going to need gold. I think there's multiple different ways to start Star Technology Hubris. I believe that is what he is referring to. Right, we said we were going to do diamonds for the lenses, didn't we? So we want to be able to output diamonds as well. LV circuits. Wait, which of the LV circuits we're making? It's the microchip processors we're making, isn't it? Right? Yeah, so we'll output those. Stainless steel. Oh, Eyes of Ender. And HV circuits. What are the HV circuits we're doing? Nanoprocessors, right? Yeah, I might want to stack. I might want to stock a few more of those. We want to be able to see the nanoprocessors as well. Eyes of Ender. We need to passively generate Eyes of Ender then. Oh, that'd be a use for liquid blaze then. I saw we could get liquid blaze from Venus. I wonder what the use of it was. Might be worthwhile setting that up. But we do need to passive Eyes of Ender as well then. Let's go and get that sorted first. Right, how are we currently making Eyes of Ender? Just the Ender Pearl and Blaze Powder, right? Am I storing Blaze Powder at the moment? Got 258. Am I passiving that? Hold on, if I am, it'll be down here, won't it? Yes, I am. Let's up that to 512. So that's fine. That means that we can quite easily make Eyes of Ender. Is there a way I can do this? What's going to be the easiest way to do this? Honestly, if I had the liquid blaze, that would be the easiest way to do this. But this is we've just got a crafting recipe here. So I guess the best option would just be no, just do it now. The only other thing you can get out of it is water, Guitar Lilin. And I'm pretty sure you don't need the water. So just distill it now. I think all of the dilute, or both of the diluted acids, I guess, you can either get water or the actual acid back. So yeah, I'd just do it now. Yes, they do both use different circuits. And they also give different amounts back as well, which is kind of annoying. So that gets 40 millibuckets from 60, and that gets 40 millibuckets from 80. So it's 50% to 66%. Not that it makes a difference, but... Speaking of which, I haven't been checking on mine for a while. Oh, no, we haven't got any backing up. Good. Right. How am I going to do the Eyes of Ender? How do I want to passive these? Honestly, the easier option would be... Actually, that wouldn't be the easier option, would it? Because the one thing I'm thinking is I could do this in a molecular assembler, but I can't turn the molecular assembler off. When we have enough. Because molecular assemblers don't work on a redstone signal. I guess the only thing I could do is level emit the export bus. Oh, I didn't even notice that, Hideyoshi, actually. But yeah, 1 for the acid, 2 for the water on there. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that is kind of trolly. I never even noticed that. That kind of sucks. Right. So I guess... Molecular assemblers are probably just going to be the way to go. I mean, in terms of looks as well, the molecular assemblers, they are a nice look. I'm replacing what soon? Oh, no, I'm not bothering with this. No, this is just for... This is for passive crafting, Hubris. I'm not even bothering with the assembler matrix. There's, like, pretty much no point. It doesn't really give me any real benefit at all. I'm going to take those out. I'm going to craft another few of those. I just wish that these would auto output into their the ME system. Yeah, I should probably start thinking about doing getting the nether stars passived. That's a good point. They probably do, because they will auto output to an inventory, but they won't just auto output to the system. And since the interface is an inventory, that should work. Although what I'm not sure about is how I'm going to set this up to actually insert the items. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter. We could just use it. We can easily just use an exporter on this, can't we? Like, if we just use an exporter, which internet, like, we're going to have to do anyway, in fairness. I am going to use a threshold export bus as well, I think. We just need to be able to get a level emitter onto that. I also need redstone cards as well. Nope. Because we need to be able to shut this off. We don't actually need anything on this side, do we? So we can probably get away with not having that. I've just realized something. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. No, that should be fine. Yeah, so if we just export to the back of there, then it should hopefully import into there. Hopefully. Although we do need to put the emitter there to shut that off. I'm going to need to add more molecular assemblers soon, or more PAM providers at least. I mean, with this, it's not going to matter because this can never overfill this. It can only ever put one lot of items in there at a time. So we'll only, like, however much we set it to. The only downside to this, I think, is actually that we can't get to the level emitter here. From here easily. That's my only complaint with this, but it's not really a big deal. It's easy enough to get behind here, and at least it is at the moment. Yeah, I do quite like looking through the assembler. This is one of the things I do like about molecular assemblers is that they are, like, they're kind of visually appealing to look at. Like, you can actually see kind of a visual representation of what's being crafted. All right, and we are outputting pearls. Hang on, let me remove that for a moment. We're outputting pearls and blaze powder. And we want to make sure we keep at least... How many blaze powder did we say we were crafting? 512. I think I am going to up that to 1024 as well. And then so long as we've got over, say, 800, it will export. And then we need a redstone card in there. Always active. Active with signal. And then we want this to be for Eyes of Ender. I really need to get a storage cell for the Eyes of Ender as well, actually. Let's do that before I forget. Yeah, the assembler matrix is nice, but honestly, I don't think it has... Given that most things are being crafted in machines anyway, like, there's a lot of things that are being made in... there are a few things that are being made in, like, actual molecular assemblers at the moment, but nothing that's ever large crafts. Why when the copy-paste gadget also take storage buses and fluix cables? Because they're tile entities, would be my guess. And these things never like doing tile entities. It sucks, but, you know, what can you do? So I have Ender. This is working active with a signal. Oh, right, because the blaze powder is... No, wait, what? Oh, right, because I've got it set to 0. That would explain it. Wait, no. Okay. So why is that not working? Oh, it is. It's just working slowly. I don't even know if acceleration cards are actually going to help here because, like, the way the acceleration cards seem to work now is that they tend to kind of speed up. It's kind of a little bit like, it seems to be a little bit like the way overclocking works in modern industrialization. Right, that should stop inputting now. Yes, beautiful. Okay, so if we want to keep 256 of those, that is the Eyes of Ender sorted. Okay, so we should have access to everything on here. Have I just got a regular terminal here? I do. Yeah, we can see everything that we need to see. I am in two minds about whether I want a full stack of things in here or not. I feel like having a full stack is not necessary for most things. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. It'll be 2 stacks of everything. It's more things like the rose gold and the chromium rotors are the thing that concern me the most. Because chromium rotors, they're what, 4 each? 4 stacks of chromium? I guess it's not too bad. But I don't really want to put 4 stacks of chromium rotors in there if I can help it. Is there a redstone card? Is that item amount as redstone? I'm just wondering if there's a way I can stop it at, like, a lower amount. Because we can, there is the item detector. It gives out item amount as redstone's cover. Gives RS latch controlled item storage status as of redstone's cover. I'm kind of curious how those work. The other thing is the redstone upgrade, but I don't know if it's... I don't know if that's going to help. Because what I'd like to do is basically, for the rotors, stop those at, say, 8 of them in there. Rather than a full stack. Oh, yeah, they do, don't they? You're right. Hold on, let me just make a few tin rotors. I just want to double check this. I think you're right, though. But that's still going to be 32 of them. It's still going to be like 2 stacks. That's actually not too bad, is it? Come on, give me a few more. You know I always test it anyway, Hubris. Yeah, you're right. Aha, beautiful. Actually, that is very good. Yeah, that's fine then. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not too worried about that then. Right, okay. So, we're gonna need robot arms. I am still curious if there is a way that we can do this, though, where we can detect... I kind of want to have a look at the advanced item detector as well. And will it... Could you... I don't think you could self-feed a signal to it. Although what could also work is if these will send a redstone signal through them. Because if they do, all we need to do is do a level emitter pointing into the back of these. We can't have it pointing into the machine because there's going to be power there. Well, the problem with it is, though, is the advanced item detector is a cover on the machine, and we needed to feed that redstone signal back into the machine, so you can't have that cover as well as a machine controller on the same side, so you'd have to have a way of moving the redstone signal to whichever side the cover was on. So we couldn't, unfortunately, do it that way, as much as I would like to, but it could be useful for other things. But if these will if these will send a redstone signal through them, then we could always just have an emitter on the back, pointing into the back of these. Right, which one did I put that on? Aha! Okay, then that would work. That would work. 'Cause they do. It does look like they transmit a redstone signal. No, it's not going to be. It'll basically what we'll do is because this is obviously on its own network. These will have storage buses attached to them. And then, or there's either a storage bus is attached to those, or there'll be a a controller down here or something along those lines. That will link to all of these. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is, I think I am going to use the storage control method, but I don't think we're going to have it there. We're going to have all of the drawers up this way. So they've got like just two columns of the drawers, and then we'll have the controller elsewhere. Technically, they have 6 sides. Unfortunately, I don't think that's really something that Minecraft could fix. If only they could. Right, okay. I need filters. We'll do these. This can be the one for the double steel plates. Entangled blocks do, yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have entangled blocks in this. At least I don't think we do. No. I do love entangled blocks, though. They are incredibly nice. I think I might use emitters on... I'm going to get rid of this wall now. Like, I just wanted this wall to be here for now so we could actually make sure where everything was going to get kind of enclosed into. Right, so that's going to be the steel. That can be the aluminium. That can be rose gold, I guess. And then that can be for the titanium. Right, I do need to set the circuits on all of these. Okay. I guess we could probably put emitters on the back of all of these, honestly. Should we need to? Put that over for now. Well, they are going to be a bit of a pain to get to. Do I want to do that? Am I bothered about doing that? No, I don't think I am, honestly. Once we've got the first stack through, they're going to be used at the same rate regardless. That doesn't really matter. All right, so that takes care of all of the plates. What do we need? We need 2 extruders and a lathe. We do not have EV extruders. I don't have lathes either, do I? Oh, no, I do have lathes. What's causing your TPS issues? Is it something that's only happened recently? Or only started happening recently? Oh, my downgrade's gone. There they are. It is. Yesterday it was not this bad. What have you added since yesterday? So you got 2 extruders. Actually, I'm curious how my TPS is doing at the minute. Not too bad. You finally started processing the 4 million plus crushed ores you had remaining? Are you using a lot of massively overclocked laser nodes? That would be my first thought. Yeah, that would be nice, Furious. That would be nice if they could. If they added compact recipes in for it. Right, so that will take care of... Hang on, let's do these... Let's actually lock these to what they're supposed to be producing. Let's just make what we need and then... lock it to those. So that was going to be double steel plates. I don't know why I just shift right click that to lock it. Double steel plates, that's going to be aluminium plates. We can't make rose gold plates at the moment. We'll do that one in a minute. We don't need rose gold plates anywhere else, so we haven't got a recipe for it. That was titanium plate. The bottom was stainless steel rods. Wait, is that a long rod? That's a long rod. We don't need long rods. Then we need... What were the other 2? Rings... Stainless steel rings and chromium rotors. That's one thing I do find weird, actually, with AE2, is that AE2 doesn't seem to show up with observable. Like, it never seems to show up TPS on any of the AE2 stuff. I wonder if it's all done on the controller. I don't think I've ever looked at the controller with it. What was causing it? Uh, and then gold cables are going to be the last bit we need. The fuck's... Wait, what? Why? Why? That looks so weird. That's so weird. Right, okay, so... What do we need? We need one of these. Let's just make a few steel plates. We always need more steel plates. I'm gonna need one for... Wait, do I not have a, wire cutters on there? Guess not. Alright. So ring, and we need rotors. That's gonna be the rotor. That's gonna be the ring. I just need one more covered cable on there, because that needs to have an assembler. And what else do I need? Wire mill. Observable is so nice to have. I need to put it onto here actually, or I'll probably wait until I am starting to run short on until I'm starting to run short on TPS. Right, okay, what do I need? I need a couple more interfaces. On there, one on there. The awkward thing about this is I'm not going to be able to stop the... I might actually have to use one of those... I might have to end up using one of those item covers anyway for this, because I don't want this to just fill this whole thing up with gold wire. I know that gold is hard to come by. We've got 32,000. Actually, I need... That's another thing I need to do today. I need to get all of these put into, or like the gold, iron, all the base metals put into 256k drives. I've been meaning to do that for ages, and I just haven't done it yet. Right, let's see if we can make one of those covers. One of... Do we want the advanced, or do we just want the regular item detector? I guess we'll do recipes for both of them. I'm kind of... I don't know. I do not know how either of these work, so... We'll see. Oh, my head's starting to hurt again. That's not good. Okay. Let's just make a regular item detector first. We'll just go and borrow... Have I already got something on there? Oh, right, yeah. I've got an activity detector. Oh, it's not actually got a GUI. It just outputs the amount as a redstone signal. Okay, so that's actually no use. How to decide who to trust. Swedish Weather Services says it will rain every day at Summer House for the next 10 days. Norwegian Weather Services says not a single drop of rain. Aha. Okay. That should work. So if we set it to, say, 8. So we only ever want to keep, like, 8 gold cables in there at any given time. So when will this emit a redstone signal? And does it detect the input or the output? Or does it just, like, detect in the machine in general? Okay, so it emits a redstone signal when it goes up to 8 items in there. That should be enough anyway. That should be fine to use that. That should work. What we want. Obviously, we're going to have to use a... Well, we won't even need to use a filter, will we? Because it's only ever going to be one item going in there. You can filter them for items, yeah. I don't know if you can filter them specifically for amounts of certain items. I'll have a look in a minute, but we don't need to filter this one. How am I not making soldering alloy dust? I've already forgotten what circuit that was. Circuit 3. Yeah, so the idea would be to have that in there. That cover on there. Let's see what happens if we use a filter on there. I think it just... Hang on, behavior continuous. Change the redstone behavior of this cover. Continuous. Defaults value less than the minimum output 0. Values higher than the maximum output 15. Values between minimum and maximum output between 0 and 15. Latched. Output 15 until above max, then output 0 until below minimum. I don't think we're going to be putting the number at the same anyway, so it shouldn't make a difference which one we have it on. But that should emit a redstone signal. We don't need a filter in there, but it doesn't. I don't think we can set amounts of items. I think we can just say like check 4 items. If we do that, 16, and then that should turn off when there's 16 in there. Okay, so we want robot arms. So we need a robot arm in there. We need a robot arm in there. We need a robot arm in there. And we need one in there. This will take in gold ingots. This needs a pump. And that will import silicon rubber. All right, no worries, Hubris. That needs to output to there. All of these need to output to there. Same with these. Did I put the downgrades on those new drawers? I think I did, right? Yes, I did. Okay. This needs chromium. This needs stainless steel. And this needs stainless steel. I sworn I just set that up. Did I put it in the wrong place? No, there we go. Okay, so everything's in there. Everything is in there. Try to give these things power. Which is going to have to come not off the sub-network, but off the main network. Right, I'm going to put these on one at a time to make sure everything's working as intended. These are... Yeah, these are all limited. It is 1x gold cable we need, right? Where do I even need it again? Yeah, it's 1x gold cable. Right, this should shut off when it gets the 16 items in there. Perfect. Okay. Turn that on. There we go. Gold cables are sorted. Right, the next one was that, which should be for the chromium rotors. Now, we're going to be using more chromium than we're making initially, but that should change. Once this stacks up to 16, it should be fine, and we'll get 16 in there as well. And then that should back up. And then we shouldn't be needing these more than every, like, every 50 seconds or so. Do that one. I'm just going to create the rings. That's doing the rods. Double steel plates. Let's just do the rest. We know they're all going to work. Although it would have been nice to shut this one off a little sooner. Although, what even goes into rose gold? Oh, just gold and copper. Okay, never mind. That's fine. Right, so that should be... Yeah, and that's got 17 in the output, so it's not... So that's shut off. So yeah, that works. So it does include the output in the... in checking for number of items. Beautiful. Okay, right. I'm actually going to have to go and take an incredibly early break today. So if you could bear with me a second, if you have been sat down for a little while, which you might not have been since we've only been live for an hour and a half, but if you have, make sure you get up as well. It will only be a very, very quick break. I'm not going to run any ads on it, but I will be back in just a moment, and then we'll get the rest of this sorted out, and hopefully have our passive microminers very, very shortly. Looks shocked. Just blame it on me getting old, Tribble. Let's put it that way. Or getting older. All right, I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I'm back. Thank you all for sticking around during that break. I do greatly appreciate it. A rather impromptu break as well. Is everything sorted? Yeah. Everything's sorted. Beautiful. Right. Okay, so that is the components, at least the components we need so far. We just got to do... We need 3 forming presses. We need an assembler for that, and we need an assembler for that, and we need an assembler for that. So we need 3 forming presses, 3 assemblers. We are going to do them as EV forming presses, though. Assuming I can. Looks like it. Alright. There we go. Three forming presses, and let's make sure I actually make assemblers this time and not bloody, what was it I made last time? Last time I made circuit assemblers, not assemblers. That was clever. I'll do that. Now these actually don't matter as much. These are going to be going into... These are actually going to be going into the main storage, I think. It's going to be somewhat awkward to set up. I think if we do it... Actually, no, that should be fine. If we do that, we can get rid of all of this. Wait, no, not that. I needed that. And thank you for the welcome back to El Tribble. We don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, we don't need that, and we don't need that, and we don't need that. We do need all of those. Resetting the PC after 3 months. That sounds pretty much like my me and my PC. I do not reset mine anywhere near enough. Right, so the way... I guess we're going to have to do this with... It's going to be a little weird to set up, though, because this is going to have to have 2 networks on here. Right, so this... Let's get rid of this wall as well now. We don't need this. We'll keep that bit. We'll just get rid of the rest of this. Oh shit, you know what we haven't done yet? We still haven't done the diamond lens yet. We're still missing a bit. Shit, okay, I'll figure that out in a second. Alright, so that will take care of everything that's going on the main network. Then we need to bring the subnetwork up there and there. Which thankfully works out quite nicely. Okay. That is fine. We still need a storage controller. Which I'm going to put... Where do I want to put this? Doesn't really need... We don't really ever need to see this. So it can just go there. That should... If we actually link stuff to it. Hey, quiet. There we go. Now we can see all that stuff there as well. Perfect. Right, let's get this. Let's get these lenses sorted. We're gonna need diamond plates. So that means we're gonna need a cutter, and then we're gonna need a way of making diamond blocks. How are you doing, Quiet? How was work? Things are getting a bit out of hand in this department. So thinking of avoiding stuff if the chest is full. Oh, in the dust department. Okay. I mean, that's not the worst idea in the world. If it's something that you're managing to get loads of anyway, the chances are you can easily get loads more as you progress. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Anyway, does the sophisticated storage void upgrade void if it's full or always void? You can set it between the two, Guitarlin, to answer that question. When you put the upgrade in, it gives you the option. Right, how are we going to make the diamond blocks? I don't really want to use a compressor because it takes like 15 seconds. Although that, honestly, it won't take 15 seconds if we're using an EV compressor. Someone curse, so you're laying down. How are you feeling? Mostly exhausted. And also my stomach isn't feeling great at the minute either. Hence the early break, but... Yeah, hopefully you feel better soon, Quiet. Why am I getting alerts on Discord? Oh, it's Foundry again. How do I want to do this? A distribution system. Right. Are there any other lenses that are going to be easier to make? I don't think there is. Like, no matter what I use, I'm going to have to craft something into a block and cut it down, aren't I? I guess I can do this. Hang on, I'm going to need some more drawers anyway, aren't I? Or at least 2 more drawers. I'm going to need a compacting drawer as well. Right, then concrete and quartz. If we use the compacting drawer, it means we don't have to use a machine to actually compact things down. We could use a barrel as well, but the compacting drawer is just going to look a little nicer, I think. And we need a cutter, which we already have, thankfully. And if we just have a... I guess we just have to have the drawer there, wouldn't we? Oh, and that's the downgrades. I guess we just have to have the drawer there. Oh, we need another downgrade on there as well. Again, not that it matters too much because... Let's be honest, we've got a lot of diamonds. So I'm assuming that downgrade will mean that we can have a... Wait, can I put another downgrade in there? Like, I don't want... Wait, it says a maximum of 64 items. There's 576 in there. What the shits? Hey, Joe. How's it going? Just realized good solution is putting in functional drawers and take it from there. Functional drawers are useful. I must agree. I don't want to put 5.2 thousand diamonds in here. I don't need 5.2 diamonds at 1,000 diamonds in here. Is there no way I can make this a smaller amount? No, it didn't seem to work. It didn't make any difference. Putting 2 downgrades in there just does the same, has the same. That's a very weird interaction with it, though, that it takes it down to 576. That's 9... That's essentially like 9 stacks of diamonds. Or 9 stacks of diamond blocks. Why? Yeah, generally... This is like the only time I like to use them is in a situation like this where I have to compress a... compress something down. Why are you a pain? I mean, it doesn't matter. We've got like 65,000 diamonds at the moment that are literally doing nothing, so... Like, it's... Or not quite literally doing nothing. They're occasionally being fed into these. And that's about it. That's a generous amount. I don't think it's going to make too much of a difference in one way or the other, but I just don't like wasting resources and having like 5,000 diamonds sitting in here for no fucking reason. I guess the only way to do it is just you have a branch off from here and then have an emitter in going into, because we're going to be using an exporter on there, and then just branch off from there and have an emitter turning off the out export bus. Seems like a very convoluted way of doing it, though. I'm surprised there's no like stocking export bus. There's a precise export bus and there's a threshold export bus, but there's no like stocking export bus. Simple compacting drawers have been disabled for some reason. I think it said somewhere in one of the quests for us, but I can't remember which. I've over 400k cobblestone with more being generated by the moment. GG. I'm going to use threshold export bus anyway, just so we don't end up overusing, but... right, we need a redstone card. We want to be active with signal. We need to make sure that and that are linked to here then, I guess. Oh, there's a thought. Is it going to try and pull the diamond? It's going to try... Oh, God. It's going to try and pull the diamonds from here. If I link this to here, it's going to try and pull the diamonds from here into itself. And it's just going to create an endless loop, isn't it? And I can't not have that. Ah. Why are you making my life so difficult? Jesus Christ. I mean, there's the redstone card from here, but we can't... I don't think we can set this to work on, like, a threshold. The only other way I could do it would be to use two laser nodes, one on there, one on there. And then center card in this one, redstone output in this one. That's not... How's that going to work, though, Furious? I don't think that would work. Because the only way we could do that is to have a storage bus on here. And it's just... At that point, it's just getting very convoluted. Guitar, honestly, I would start trashing it. But the thing is, though, I can't blacklist those on the storage bus because the only thing I can do, if I set an inverter on this...
Running away, eh? You yellow bastard!
All right, no worries, quiet. Yeah, if I set an inverter on this so I can blacklist it, which I can't do, apparently. I can only use redstone cards, capacity cards, and acceleration cards. But if I invert it, it will just try and output everything but red diamonds to there, but which we can't do anyway. Because we can't put an inverter on here. Not on the threshold export bus, anyway. Yeah, this isn't a storage bus. This is an export bus. These are... I think this is going to be the easiest option, although I don't like this option because it means we can't add anything more on top of here if we need to. But then you're just adding like a sub-network to the sub-network, and then where am I even going to attach that to? Because we still, if there's likely to be more things we need to add to this, and if we need to add to the top of here, we need to be able to bring this green line further up, so we can't have anything on the back of here, really. The diamonds are on the red network, yeah. Hey, go for it, Hubris. If you're going to say I'm overthinking it, then I disagree, but... Light them up until a certain point in Greg Tech. That doesn't make much sense, though, Furious. But the thing is, though, we're passing... The whole point of all of this, Hubris, is literally... This stuff is just for passiving the microminers. Like, this is for nothing else. This is literally for passiving the microminers. So we need this to be passived. Because these are passive. And we don't need this for the rest of the system. So we're putting it on a subnetwork. That's the only reason we're doing all this. Normally, I wouldn't passive most of this stuff. It's only because we need it for the microminers. I wish these redstone cards were a little bit more, you had a little bit more control over them. Because you can change the slot it reads, but that's it. I guess we could always set it so if it reads the slot with the diamond block in it and then emits a redstone signal whenever there's a diamond block in there, then there'll only ever be one diamond block in there at any given time, right? Assuming that works the way I expect it to, which it probably doesn't, but we'll see. If I were to put that into there, I have no idea which slot is which. Is that slot 0? Is that slot what? Is that slot 0 or is that slot 0? Or is that slot 0? I'm going to assume that's slot 0. I'm going to assume that's slot 2. I didn't see it said it. I don't read things, hubris. Jesus. I'm a streamer. That's what I've got you guys for. To be fair, I did notice that halfway through saying it, but I'd kind of committed at that point, so I kind of just carried on. Random, how are you doing, by the way? I don't think I said hello yet. Freefall, how are you doing? Sorry, hubris. Right, so that shouldn't output. If we take that out of there... You can see diamonds on this network, right? I did make... Oh, no, I don't think I did yet. No, I did. Oh, right. Active with signal. So it needs to be active without signal. Right. You should not be emitting a redstone signal. What the fuck? Wait, where's that redstone lamp? You should not be emitting a redstone signal. Active without redstone signal. Oh, right, I know why. Because it's, for some reason, there's this weird thing with compacting drawers where if there's nothing in them, they won't accept anything. Life's good. Just watching you and trying to figure out what you're working on. We're trying to passive all the components we need for the microminers. For sending out the microminers. Okay, so that does not emit a redstone signal when... Oh, it'll emit a redstone signal based on how full it is, won't it? It won't just emit a redstone signal when it gets to a certain point. Right, okay, so how many diamonds do we need in there to make it shut off? Or to emit a redstone signal? Are you going to emit a redstone signal at all here? Right, how many do you need in there to do that? Right, has that shut off as well? It has. Okay. Okay, somewhere between 321 and 385. Slot 1 is going to put even more in there, though. It reads it on a percentage of how full it is. It'll basically be acting like a comparator, I assume. So, depending on the percentage of how full it is, it will emit a redstone signal. And I'm guessing it only starts emitting a redstone signal once it reaches a certain point. And if we set that on for the diamond slots, it will put much more, like far more diamonds in there than we want. Well, yeah, exactly. That's what it'll depend on the amount of the item, but the amount of the item, but it will also be dependent on how much it is in relation to the total amount. That's how comparators work. It'll read basically essentially a percentage of how full it is. And that is roughly, hang on, 576 divided by, yeah. It's basically, it would be emitting a redstone signal strength of 1 at that point. Yeah, pretty much random, yeah. Well, remember, redstone works are between 0 and 15. Right? So when it gets to whatever 100% divided by 15 is, percentage of this, it will start to emit a redstone signal of 1. When it gets to 100% divided by 30%, like, so yeah, that's basically what it's doing. But this is fine. This works just fine for what we want. Okay, right, we do need another... I might as well use an export bus for this as well. Or a threshold export bus, because we need to export lube. I don't actually know how much lubricant we have at the moment. That's concerning. Oh, right. For some reason, I had this on items only. I was very confused. Like, how have I not got any lubricant? If I don't have any lubricant, then... what the fuck? Wait, hold on. As long as we've got over, say, 1,024 buckets. Although, why are you... Oh, I know why you're not exporting. You can't see lube. There we go. That works. Is the 4 steam tracks on 2 pyrolyzer ones causing the TPS drop? Is it? How bad is it? Because I don't think I've ever been in a situation where GregTech machines have been causing me issues like that. Yeah, I don't think I actually want all the acceleration cards in there. And I've just realized we are still missing a step at this point, so all this needs to be moved up. Because we still need the laser engraver to turn it into the actual... sorry, running the laser engraver, we need a lathe. Oh, shit, and on top of that, I've got to deal with the small piles of diamond dust. Not as easy as you might think. I was thinking the item void cover, but I really don't want to void them. if I can help it. Oh, I gotta move all this. God dang it. Alright, let's... These don't keep their settings when they break, do they? No, I didn't think so. Right. Diamonds. Let's make sure we export if there's over, I don't know, 32,000 of them. Then redstone cards. Active without signal. Wow. That worked. There we go. And cutter. And then we need lube. Oh, shit. And there's 1,024 buckets. We did waste a bunch of buckets of it there, but that's fine. Alright, so... Okay, so that's... Cuts that into the diamond plates. It'd be a lot easier if we had an infinite supply of exquisite diamonds. I really don't want to use 2 laser engravers either. That's a little excessive. Right, we do still need a lathe, though. Don't even need the packager. Just replace that with a barrel. With a compacting upgrade in it. We can fix this anyway. We can basically just... that's actually not as easy as I thought. I might have to void it. I really don't want to, but I might have to void it. Ah. Well, they're already powered. It's pit. I'm kind of like, trying to go over the top with peer-to-peer, EU peer-to-peers, just to see at what point they start causing problems. So far, they're not. Fuck. Well, that was daft. I need to fix that. Well, I can't update to the version where they nerf it because it's not been released yet, but I've already said that I'm intending to stay on 0.12. I'm not going to update to 0.13. There's just going to be too many huge changes for it to be worth it at this point. I don't want to void these. But I'm going to have to do it. Just because I can't be bothered to find a way to deal with it. The only way, I guess I could... I know how I know how peer-to-peers work, Hubris. Right. So, what I could do, I guess, is output the dust. Do I have a thing for diamond dust in here? Do I have a storage cell for diamond dust? I don't think I do yet. I haven't even got one for diamonds yet. They're still in a bloody drawer at the minute, which I'm not happy about. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is basically put that down there. Put a storage bus on there. Actually, it's going to be easy to do it here, isn't it? Put that down there. Storage bus on there for small piles of diamond dust. It is the small piles we get, right? Yeah. Small piles of diamond dusts. And a compacting upgrade. And then small piles of diamond dust. And then an import bus on that side, inputting diamond dust. And that should work. Right. So, we just need a storage cell for diamond dust now. Right. There we go. And then, oh, that's a point. The diamond lenses. They don't stack, do they? So I don't think we want the downgrade in here. Now we'll see in a minute if it does stack or not, but I don't think it does. And then we just need another import bus on here. Oh, let's get rid of those as well. I don't think the lenses do. I guess we'll find out in a minute. Oh, do they? I've never had more than one of them in my inventory at any given time anyway, so... Holy shit, that works quick. Hold on. That was not quite what I expected. If they do, then it doesn't really matter because they'll stack 64 anyway. Okay, they do. All right, that's fine. And then we should be getting the diamond dust in here, and it should be compacting. Why can I not put the small piles of diamond dust into the allow list? That's weird. No, it's nothing to do with that. It's let me put it in from there. It just didn't let me put it in from there. Seems to be working, though. Okay, there we go. That is that. Although there's way more of those than I intend to have in there. Which is kind of annoying. Right. I want another one of these. Pretty much, yeah. I haven't really made much progress in GTNH at all lately. Because I've not been feeling well, I've just basically been just running around like a headless chicken, playing around with crops and bees, and trying to get my head around the bee breeding system. Right, so that should be turned off. Yeah, but well, GTNH isn't even 2 minutes. It's like 12 minutes, I think, for a diamond block at LV. I had to go through... Wait, no, I think it's like 780 seconds to saw a diamond block into plates at LV. But yeah, 13 minutes, and I had to do 12 of them. No. Yeah, I think I had to do like 12 of them. No, it's like 780 seconds. It's 13 minutes per diamond block. Right, that should stay turned off now until this drops below 8. I think I'm just going to get rid of some of these in here as well. And then we'll just keep them in our main storage just in case. Anyway, right, that should now be part of the storage here. It is. Right, now we can start working on these. Oh yeah, anything going through the extruder is like I didn't do much. I haven't changed my hammerhead yet. I'm still using bronze, but I did change a lot of the tool rods out for Damascus steel. Oh wait, I don't need motors. I need robot arms. Yeah, I basically did it as soon as I was able to. Yeah, we're talking about GTNH. You can buy Damascus steel, but it's also relatively cheap as well. Right, okay, so if we do aluminium drill head in here. Oh, I am going to need to do... I am going to need to store all of these in somewhere, aren't I? So we're going to need store... I think I'm just going to do 1K storage cells for each of these items that we're making here. Yeah, I've been trying to level up my my stick reed so I can level up some other crops. Mostly just in preparation for setting up for benzene later on. I haven't even started using my diesel setup yet. It's currently... I've got my diesel setup running. Just the only thing it's currently powering is itself. Mostly just because I'm not sure yet whether I want to move to my new base location now or wait till later. And if I move to the new base location now, it'll be nice to have like 4,000 buckets of diesel to just ease the transition over. Oh, what they call drill heads? Yeah. Oh, the only downside here is... Actually, you know what? I don't think we want to do this. I think what we want to do instead is have storage buses on these. That way we'll only ever have a stack of them stored at any given time, and we're never going to be in a situation, I don't think, where we're going to need more than that. Plus, and the main reason for it is that I don't really have a way of turning these off at the moment. I do not have enough sides to turn these off. So I think I'm going to switch these interfaces out for storage buses. This is about the only external store, well, one of the few external storages we'll have on our main system. On our main network, rather. And it does seem a little pointless having storage cells for these, honestly. And I'm assuming the storage buses will only see the outputs of these. I don't think I've ever actually used a storage bus on a machine before. Right. When you say that's very tidy of me, you make it sound like the rest of my setups aren't tidy. You make it sound like I'm not, the rest of my setups aren't. A mending book, no idea what to use it for. I don't even know if you can put mending books on GregTech tools. I'm not actually sure about that. Welcome back, Em. Right, so we need 4 aluminium plates, 2 double steel plates. Right, okay, and then that's set to imports. And we said we're doing aluminium here, right? Yes. Okay, good. Like a can, found the soil on the list at least. Okay. I know you can enchant GT tools, but I know in some things I know in certain packs I've played, you couldn't put mending on them. You could enchant them with like things like efficiency, fortune, what have you, but you couldn't enchant them with mending. I can't remember which pack that was. It might have been interactions. I mean, I'm not saying that it's you can't do it. I'm not saying that, oh no, you definitely can't do this. I'm just saying that there's a chance you might not be able to. Okay. Quiet with the Prime sub. Thank you so much, Quiet. I appreciate it. Can we get some love and hearts in the chat for Quiet? Quiet EST girl. Hey, I think this is the first time we've actually got you in here this month. There you are. Why are you... Wait, why are you still... I guess it might take a while for it to update. You might not be able to hear me, though, if you are... If you're still seeing an ad. Hopefully that should stop, though. And Joe with the Prime sub as well. Joe, thank you so much, man. 20 months. And Quiet was 77 months. Jesus Christ. Both of you a long-ass time. Thank you, guys. Joe, what's your IGN again? Is it the same as Twitch? I feel like it was, but I could be wrong. Is that does look like you? Are you back now, Quiet? Have you managed to break Twitch, Quiet? Can we blame you for this again? Oh, Twitch, that explains a lot. And M with an on-screen celebration there, which I don't get to see. I'm sorry, that's so annoying. The fact that I don't get to see the on-screen celebrations. But M, thank you so much. And Hubris.
Dino Dance.
With the 2 months there. Hubris, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And kicking off a hype train as well. Same switch yet? There we go. Thank you so much, Joe. Hubris, what's your IGN? Your in-game name is Hubristo. Nice name. And there you go. That's you? Awesome. There you go. And also, thank you guys for kicking off the scam train as well. If only you were as cute as your avatar. I'm sure you are, Hubris. Tarian, hello. Oh, these only stack to 16 as well. Okay, that's actually also a very good thing. Beautiful. Okay. I can't take those out of there now, though, annoyingly. Well, I guess I can. The rose gold was at the top. Oh, I put it in there. I was going to say, where did that drill head go? Oh, shit. Hold on. There's one thing I forgot to do here. I need these on extract only. I wondered why where the drill head had gone randomly. How's it going? It's going all right. Not going too badly. We're slowly getting towards having our micro miners fully pass it. Oh god. Well, now we've got more drill heads. Whoops. I didn't mean to take all of them out. Right, those are fine. Okay, right. So there's the drill heads done. Now we've got to do the drilling kits. We'll do the drilling kits next. Oh shit. Oh, that's a problem. We need to get fluid in here as well. Hey, Quest. How's it going? Glue is only a problem because we haven't got any sides to insert it from. I mean, technically we can. If we do it in this bottom one, we can insert it at the bottom. But that, if we have any more drilling kits, then we're gonna have to find spaces to put them because they all take glue or lubricant. Isn't that fairly common though, Quest? Yes, we have been using plenty, or we will be using plenty of lube today. Well, we don't have a side for a laser IO node either, Freefall. Not without making the cabling look really, really ugly. It's so annoying that there's no covers that can insert both items and fluids. Right, if we have to add any more things to this later, we're going to have to just rethink it and have a bit of a gap between everything. Oh, we don't need it. Please tell me none of these other ones need fluids. That does not. Well, there's no point in using multi-block assemblers here, though. That's the thing. Like, this is literally, all of this is literally to, just to make passive items for this. Having a multi-block assembler just for this one item, like you basically go from having one block to this for one item. Not worth it. Oh, we already had a threshold export bus. Right, it's not going to output any glue yet because we haven't actually got any glue in this system at the moment. And we want to make sure we always keep... Oh, God. Why can't it be consistent between Applied Energistics, Laser IO, and GregTech for changing amounts in kind of covers and stuff? Like, why can't they just make it consistent? That'd be nice. There we go. Okay. Right, so that now has glue. Well, I don't want it to be a particular amount. I just want to, like... The thing is, this is the threshold output bus. There is not a recipe that has 1024 buckets in it for me to do it. Basically, what this is saying is, if it drops below this amount, don't output any more. So that's kind of situation is not overly useful, unfortunately. Usually, though, yeah. I will generally do the same thing. Right, so we want to keep exactly. We don't need these. Wait, what am I missing here? Oh, the steel plates. That's what I'm missing. Right, so we need motors, circuits. That's not the right circuit, though. That's the circuit we want. Glass and steel plates. I don't know how many circuits we needed, though. It was 2. And then 1 electric motor, right? Yeah. Do we want to just have 1 recipe's worth in there at any given time? Yeah, I don't think we need this going, like, stupidly quickly, so that should be fine. And then we just got to output that. Wait, no, that's wrong. Wrong side. That side. We need those. We need those. We need those. And we need those. I haven't made the most available. Or the glass. No. Only the final outputs. Only the final outputs are made available to the main network. There we go. That should work, hopefully. Do we need a circuit for this? It would appear not. Well, the motors are already buffered on the main network. Life, thank you for the hydrate and the posture check. The motors, like everything that's not crafted here already is already passived elsewhere. Right, I think we want... Is that going to keep going? It is. Okay, perfect. But yeah, everything that's not already part of this net being crafted within this network is already passive elsewhere. So the motors are already passive. The LV circuits are passive. Although we're going to have to change those soon. But yeah, the LV circuits are passive. What else is passive? The HV circuits are passive. I need to get those outputting to here as well. Wait, do I not? Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Fuck. I've got to do the HV sensors as well. God damn it. I forgot about those. I hate these gemstone sensors. They're such a pain in my ass. I don't need to passive these for anything else either, do I really? So they're going to have to be done within here. Okay, that's fine. But those are fine. The advanced power thrusters, we should be able to do. Everything should be available for this now. And then we are just going to have to do the HV sensor. And stick that up there somewhere, I guess. I'm going to need to make the... Ah, dang it. There we go. Let's do that again so we actually get the proper amounts. That should be everything right. Think so. I might need to make the motors available to the sub-network. I don't think I've done that yet. No. Looks like That is a no. Perfect. What am I missing? 2, 1, 2, 1. Oh, right. Why is that so much faster? There we go, right. That's got the advanced thrusters, although that... Is it just me, or does that look like a little bit like a pink backpack? Like you got the kind of the flap over the top and the straps to hold it down. It looks like a backpack. You want to keep playing and all processing is helplessly behind. The 32 aluminium. Or for coins it is. What is it? It's an advanced thruster, apparently. Or an advanced power thruster, to be precise. Oh, these only stack to 16 as well. That's quite good. Alright, so I guess now the last thing we got to do is... We can get rid of that. We can get rid of all those. The gemstone sensor. We've got these. We've got these. We just need to do the HV sensor. Which we need 2 more machines for. A bender and an assembler. Bender for the stainless steel plates, the rest we've got. We've got the rods down there, we're outputting the ice bender. But yeah, just 1 more bender. I kind of wish I'd had the bender on top of those ones as well, just for symmetry's sake. Having it there, well, we'll do it on the one above there, but that'll be fine. Right, definitely making an assembler and not a circuit assembler. How am I not making stainless steel plates here? Okay, we'll do the assembler there. We'll do the bender there. We need 2 more drawers. And we need quartz for the center of them. Go there, and that'll go there. And then, good thing is we can fill this bit in with that. And it won't look too out of place. Alright, and bring those up to there. Actually, I definitely need 2 downgrades, don't we? Right. Now, the sensors, I don't want a stack of sensors. I don't know what these stack to. And without any other knowledge, I'm going to assume they stack to 64. We do not want 64 of these. We 100% do not need 64 of these. Not that it makes that much difference, but, well, it'd actually be 128 as well, wouldn't it? Because we have 64 in the drawer and 64 in the machine. Which is not what we want at all. Where's my linking tool gone? Ah, there it is. Right, robot arms. How am I going to stop this stacking higher than like 8 or so? I guess again we can use the redstone card on here. And it should stop when there's about 4 of them on there, I think. Alright, and we need stainless steel. And we need an interface on there, interface on there. Okay, and that we can give power to straight away because we should have plenty of stainless steel. There we go. So we've got stainless steel plates available to this system now as well. So, the chromium... Oh, have we got chromium rods? No, we haven't got chromium rods either. Shit. We had the chromium rotors, but not the chromium rods. So we need another lathe as well. I can see this whole thing just ending up going just like all the way up to the bloody ceiling at this rate. So that means we need another 1x1 drawer. With another downgrade. Although, again, we probably don't want that many chromium rods. That's going to be a stack of chromium gone. I guess that's not too bad. It could be worse. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fine. Right, and we need an interface. Again, we're starting to run out of interfaces again. Oh, wait, hang on. I still had a bunch on me. Never mind. And a robot arm. I do need more filters as well. Also, time to get rid of the solar for the ore processing. This is just ridiculous. You're not seeing when it is night in the void dimension. Yeah, it does make it a little bit more difficult. Did you decide to go to live in the void dimension then? I take it, Guitar. I never actually asked the way you decided to settle down. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to do that one now. I live in the Void Dimension, a very non-designer base, just concentrating on learning the Greg part. Honestly, that's the best way to do it. Like, don't bog yourself down with other bits and pieces. Just kind of like learn the mod. All right, so we need that. Although we'll do that from here instead, like that. Then filter. Right, so we wanted to get one of those redstone upgrades for here again. We needed machine cover. And hopefully, this should be fine. Everything there? Oh, wrong HV circuits. All right, there we go. Good. Before you start making too many of these bloody things. There we go. Right. I don't actually know what number that stops at, though. Let's see. I think about 5-ish it should be. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Liminal Industries. I kind of just checked out the very, very start of Liminal Industries. It's an interesting concept. It's actually not terrible hubris. Like, it's not the kind of thing you could play. I don't think it's the kind of thing I could play long term. But for just like a fun little thing to mess around with, actually not bad. Right. Does anybody, I don't suppose anybody knows how many the gemstone sensors stack to, do they? Ah, I needed those robot arms. Oh, I still have the robot arms. Right, so gemstone sensors. That's that. We need diamond lens. Right, I'm going to keep an eye on this, and I'm going to shut this off if it stacks to more than like 8 or so, because I'm going to have to find a way to shut it off if it does. All right, we should be good here. It stacks to more than that. Fuck. Want to leave bed, but your stomach hates you? Would it hate you? Is it hating you any less in bed? If it feels like it's hating you any less in bed, then just stay in bed. Unless there's anything you need to get up for. I'm gonna have to do this, aren't I? And we'll just stop this at 16. Oh, they only stack to 16. They do only stack to 16 anyway. Okay. There we go. That should be everything. And that also means that if we next time we have one of these where we need a fluid in there, we can just put that above here, and we've got a space there to output from. We won't be out. We'll be outputting from a different place, from a different network, but that's fine. Start with RL crafts. Finally, Twitch Mobile hates you more, I guess. Twitch Mobile just sucks in general, I think, honestly. There we go. That should be everything we need for all of the microminers we wanted to do. Now, to set up this bit. I'm assuming the pipes are connected to the machines. I would... Hang on. Do I have any fluid pipes? Have you used a wrench near your pipes? Check if any of them have little arrows like that on them. They should be interchangeable. They should both work in both things. Because I was using the steam from... No arrows, okay. I was using the steam... like, where is the... Which machines are the steam going into? And where is the steam coming from? Grinders and separators, or are them stuck with tiny bits of steam? Do you have any fluid cells or any fluid containers that you can take the steam that's in the machines out? Just to see if it is that. Or the other thing is just break the hatches. Like, if you're not bothered about losing the steam, you can just break the hatches. How are we doing power-wise? We're not having any issues, I'm assuming. Nah, we're fine. How am I doing for uranium and stuff from the TBU fuel? Well, we've got over 10,000 uranium ingots and over 3,000 uranium-235 ingots. And over 3,226 of those. I think I'm going to up these to 1,024 of each, just so we can keep a little bit more of them. Okay, right. Getting back to where we were. Honestly, void it, Guitar Lynn. Don't worry. Honestly, don't worry too much about voiding things unless they are incredibly rare in this. I genuinely would not worry too much about it. Right, okay, so the next question. How are we going to set this up? How do you... Oh, from an ender tank. I guess you could always just craft a fluid trash can and then just pipe it in. Use whatever cheap pipes you've got. Right, so I think for now, let's just get these two running. Oh, that works too. Let's just get these first two tier 1 ones running for now. This one for the redstone, ruby, and cinnabar, and this one for the ilmenite, bauxite, and aluminium. Let's get these ones running for now. So let's start with this one. This was the one we already kind of had set up. It runs for 50 seconds. I'd like this to only... Let's set this up to only run every 100 seconds. So we basically want it activated for 50 seconds, or for 50 ticks, and then deactivated for 50 seconds, rather. And then what we're going to want to do is get a couple of emitters. Which that'll be... Oh, apparently it still had a... Oh, right, yeah, the microminer was still in there, wasn't it? Yeah, from this, we're doing it to get titanium. That is pretty much the main use for this. So if we say when we have over... I don't know, 8,192... when there's over 8,192 titanium ingots, it will stop. Although we'll stop... yeah, then... Anyway, yeah, that should work. And then even if this doesn't sync up fully with... Which it won't, by the way. Even if this doesn't sync up fully with the clock, it'll still be off for the same amount of time and on for the right amount of time. Which this should have been shutting off, although I have a feeling it was right at the end of its thing before. Yeah, so that'll shut off for 50 seconds, then turn back on again. So that should essentially will only be running every 100 seconds rather than every 50. Which is the way we wanted to set this up. And then we just need to be automatically processing
I see.
everything we got from that.
Running away, eh? You yellow bastard!
All right, no worries, Joe. Enjoy the load, man. I appreciate it, and thank you again for the resub. Right, so what we're going to be outputting to here, I'm going to shut off the thorium for now. I have a feeling we've still got quite a bit to go through. Yeah, so 41k thorium and 15k plutonium. But what we want to do is we want to set what we're getting back from this, so like the ilmenite, bauxite, and aluminium, to automatically process. Once we have a few more things coming through here, what we'll want to do is want to have this on a sub network, and then use a stocking bus rather than a... and then make all the things that we're passively getting in, make them all visible to a sub network, and then use a stocking bus, and then it will just put all of these through as it gets them in. So that should process all of that. And we should start getting some more rutile in, although the rutile will be going straight back out again. And getting turned into titanium. I keep flying away from here and forgetting that it's on the same bloody side. And yeah, once we get over the amount of titanium we want, this will shut off and stop sending out the micromine emissions. Hopefully all of this will keep up with what we need. It should do. Quantum flux is still fine. Okay, so the other one we were doing here was going to be the redstone one. This was the one we needed the gemstone sensor for, which I really don't like gemstone sensors. Alright, so the way this was working was we're outputting everything to here except the microminer itself. So that means we need that, and that to be output to here. Those will go out to there. I still need one more microminer, don't I? Thankfully, we made the tier 1s craftable. We need to do it. Probably need to do it with the rest of them as well, honestly, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There you go, and thank you for the hydrates. I appreciate it. There we go. Right, so what we need to do is extract from here on black. So yeah, every 5 ticks, that will extract from there. And then we just insert into here, but blacklist the microminer. Blacklist the microminer. And then insert into there. Every freaking time. One of these days I'll stop doing that. Insert into there. But only insert the microminer. Alright, and this runs for how long? I'm assuming this is the same length. Yeah, at EV 50 seconds. So we want to do the same thing on here. What did I do on that? It actually, I don't think it matters if we do it 1,000 and 1,000. That should be fine. And this one, the only thing we really need from this, I guess, is the chromium from the ruby. That's kind of what we need. I do wish this didn't emit a redstone like a signal when you first placed it down. I wish it was like blank. And if we say 8,192, emit redstone signal when it's below that. Fruitcake, how you doing? And then I think that should be fine. It should be all we need to do is put that into there. That'll start that going. This will stop at some point in the middle of it, unfortunately. And then we need to set this up to work to process the... We're going to need to hurry this up as well, like the redstone, the ruby, and the cinnabar. Good, mate. I'm feeling absolutely exhausted, but otherwise pretty good. I have just realized that we're not going to be able to put another one of these directly next to here, are we? Although we should still have space. Because we're going to need a gap between these so they don't interfere with each other. So yeah, this should shut off. They should both shut off when they... they should both shut off when they reach the amounts of the desired material. And I guess if we really need to, we could probably find a way of inverting it, or having, if we've got multiple things that we want to get a certain amount of, we can find a way that we can turn it off only when all of them or kind of the amount we want is kind of satisfied. So this should shut off at some point in the middle of this. That is outputting from there. Perfect. So somewhere in the middle of this, it should turn off. Oh, in fact, it won't, will it? Because we don't have that on there. Yeah, now it's turned off. Okay, perfect. So that gives us a way to control how often these run. And then if we need to turn them off, we can manually, we can probably just put levers on these. Although that won't work, will it? We might have to find a way of manually turning these off if we need to. How are we doing for rocket fuel? Are we keeping up with it? We seem to be so far. What we're not going to be keeping up with, though, is the ore processing of this, I don't think. And this is one of the reasons why I wanted it to... not run quite so frequently at the moment, because we're going to end up with certain amounts of, like, the ilmenite's going to be backing up. Like, we're not going to be able to process it all quickly enough. And I'm still flying away when I don't need to. So I might change these to be a little less frequent still. Until we can speed up the processing of the ores. If we set that to a lower number, this should just shut off. Same with that. We'll turn both of those off for a second. I would like to know how long it will take for us to process all of this lot. All the stuff that we get in from these. So that, and that. So there's 6,428. So basically 4¼ stacks. So 272 items. 272 ores. We can process 4 ores in how long? 4 ores per second. Or 4 ores every 1.25 seconds. So, and we're getting, what do we say, 272? So we could process all of this in 85 seconds, assuming there's none backed up in the system. So, having them run every 100 seconds should be fine. We just need to let it run through everything that's there. And it does mean that we won't be able to process anything else in the meantime. But that's not too bad. Right, while we're waiting on that, let's go and get the other one of these, because we've got one more of these we can set up at the moment. Which will go there. Right, need one more of those. And once we get the next one of these, that's going to add another 256 256 things onto it. So we'll only be able to run that every 165 seconds. Why are we shouting hubris? And what's the question? I hopefully have an answer. There we go. Right, has this gone through everything yet? No. Honestly, I have never used the data bank, so I am the last person to be able to answer that question. It's one of the things I'm kind of somewhat nervous about getting to, but also very much looking forward to. So I couldn't tell you. There you go. Roshula. I mean, you can tell me. I can't guarantee I'll be able to give you an answer, though. There's a reasonably good chance I won't be able to. But feel free. What are you actually working on at the moment? Bauxite. Oh, do we want to... No, we do want to base when we shut this off on titanium and not on rutile. 4 assembly lines, one of them won't work for some reason, even though it's set up the exact same as the other 3. It won't craft recipes. I honestly don't know. Like I say, I have not used them, so... It's one of the things I'm kind of looking forward to. Yeah, honestly, I couldn't tell you. It's one of the things I'm going to be learning as I get to it. I assume there shouldn't be a limitation like that, though. I would be kind of surprised if there was. This is the kind of time I would go into a creative world and just test stuff out in a creative world. which is probably what I'm going to do before we get to that stuff in here. I have no doubt we will end up getting to it. Right, so we do output bus, import bus. Wait, no, we don't need the output bus, do we? We need an input hatch, and then we need just normal output buses. That's something I keep forgetting we've got in here as well, actually. Right, input bus. Then will be the interface there, and then we need an output bus and an input bus. Okay. They've been about 0.6 blocks tall. It's useful until you kind of like shift near, like you go up to the top of something and press shift and then go up a little higher and then you end up inside the block. That's the only time it gets mildly annoying. It's so useful though for when you're trying to do cable management. It just makes life so much easier. Right, we're going to do this for tungsten dust, I think. Rather than any of the ingots, because it's going into tungsten dusts, then to tungsten ingots, tungsten steel ingots, and tungsten carbide ingots. So we'll just do it for tungsten dust. And when we've got, say, on that 8,192 tungsten dust. Welcome back, Quiet. Right, have we gone through that yet? It would appear that we have. Right, let's make sure if my timings are correct here. We are going to have to change the timings on these soon. But we need to make sure that we never get into a situation where these are backing up. All right. All right, and then this needs to insert everything but the tier 2 microminer. Once again, one of these days I'll remember. That needs to insert just the tier 2 microminer. Yeah, it's good to hear that you are feeling a little better, at least, Quiet. Right, I wish... Is there a way I can just shut this off? Holy shit, that takes a while to update. Yeah, that's not going to work. Alright, so... Redstone signal when that is below 8,192. We're going to have to invert that in a second. This will be running for... 120 seconds. So... If we only run this, like, half the time, so again, 120 seconds on, 120 seconds off. That's what, 2,400 for each of these? Oh, wow. Okay, right, let's make sure we have everything else in here. So, rocket fuel. And then for this, we need quantum flux, basic drilling kit, drilling head, and power thruster. Right, we've got to go and grab tier 2 microminer from here. Where's the other... Oh, that's it. Okay. We'll see if we can get the next microminer going today as well, and see if we can get our first aqueduct. That would be nice. Right. Just want to make sure this is not... It's going to be backed up a little bit on things, but we need to make sure it gets through all of this. Oh, it's not going to get through all of it, though, is it? Because the redstone is going to make it an absolute pain in the ass. And the fact that it doubles everything that comes out of it, so it is just gonna back up. We're gonna have to run these a lot less frequently until we can speed up our ore processing. I forgot about that. Oh, well, that sucks. Yeah, well, we have a decent ore processing line. There's not much we can do to improve this at the moment. We could take everything up to LUV power. But we can still only run 4 recipes in parallel at the moment. We can't make the next tier of parallel hatches yet. So yeah, we're going to have to slow this down a little bit. See, this is why I set this up in just this way. So that we could... Well, honestly, power upgrades and the parallel hatches. Parallel hatches aren't going to do much good if we don't upgrade the power, because we're not going to do anything any quicker. We could set up live, but that's going to mean, at the minute, that's going to mean just like a shitload more multi-blocks on top of all of this, which I'd rather avoid if possible, because I don't want to go through the hassle of setting all of this up again. I'd rather just slow it down and make sure we can process everything. But like this, this I don't think we need to speed up at all anyway. This is fine. It's just the rest of it. But yeah, we'll... Like I say, like the whole point of us doing this... Oh god, what? Why have you started going again? Oh, right, it's that. Yeah. Right. The whole point of us setting this up was so that we could do things like this. So if we have it on... If we just take it down to... On for 1,000 ticks. Off for 3,000. How many seconds is 2,006? 100 seconds. Yeah, if we increase that by, say, 100 seconds as well. We haven't even started outputting that yet. I don't think there's much point until we've gone through all of this. Yeah, as fast as this setup is, it's still not going to be enough to cut it at the moment. And no matter how fast we get stuff in from here. I guess what we could do is shut these off when we get, instead of when we get over a certain amount of ores, or like instead of when we get over a certain amount of the final product, when we get over a certain amount of the raw ores, that way we can... But then I have to make the raw ores visible on the main network, which I didn't want to do. I think it's already going to be a good idea to set storage buses for in the subnetwork for each of the raw ores we're getting from here, like 16K ones. How many are we getting? We get ilmenite, bauxite, aluminium, redstone, ruby, cinnabar, and then scheelite and tungstate. So we need what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, I knew this was going to be a bit of an issue, but it's the redstone is the major problem, honestly. And the redstone is the one bit that we don't necessarily need. So I'm actually going to shut off the extraction of the redstone for now. Because we don't really need to process that. At the minute, we've got like 217,000 redstone right now. The only thing that it's really doing for us is getting us the rare earths for things like the samarium, neodymium, stuff like that. We could send it to the process to centrifuge, but then you've got to go through the whole process. If you want to get mercury out of it, like you've got to go through the whole process of maceration, ore washing, thermal centrifuging, maceration again anyway. But I guess you could process it slightly differently, but we do also want the rare earths as well. Because rare earth gives us all of this lot. The cadmium, which doesn't really matter, but neodymium does, samarium, lanthanum, yttrium, and cerium. When you say worth processing, I mean, we're going to end up processing the redstone anyway, but for right now, we don't need to process any more of it. Is my point. Oh, a second. My computers are getting a little on the warm side at the moment. Hold on, bear with me here. I also thought the fans were making weird noises, but it's not. It's just my other fan. But yeah, when you say processing, like, do you mean just putting through the entire processing loop? Because eventually we'll end up doing that anyway. Like I say. Well, we actually want this turned off, don't we? For now. And that turned off. Yeah, the redstone... The redstone is, like, the... We do want to process it, but at the minute it's less of a priority. Keeping everything going is more of a priority. Although getting the cinnabar out of it is quite nice. Because we do need that as well for making quantum flux. Although we will be getting some from here. Yeah, this is the problem. Is the redstone. But when you macerate the redstone, each raw redstone is going to give you 10 crushed redstone. So basically, every process past the initial macerator has to be 10 times as fast, and that's just not feasible. The processing the redstone is less important right now. Processing the ruby and the cinnabar we do need to do. And the problem is, like, it doesn't matter what I like. If I could speed up this, take this up to a 4 amp IV hatch and run it at LUV, but then I'd have to change this to running at ZPM, which we can't really do right now because this is basically twice as fast as that. So this is already running at LUV. So the redstone, if we stop processing the redstone after we've got through all this, which we've got so much stuff out of this already, that we just need to wait for it to process now. So I think we do actually want to run these even like longer than this. So that's basically like 100. So that would be 50 seconds on, 2.5 seconds off. So this would be running it only every 5 minutes. And how long would it take to process everything from that? That'll be 64, 64, 16. What did we say it was? Oh, Jesus, hold on. So if we're not doing the redstone, stack and a half of ruby. So that's 2 stacks there. 4 stacks and a quarter. 5 stacks, 6, 7, 8.25 stacks. So 528 items, although multiply that by 2, so 1,056 items at 1.25 seconds for every 4 items. That's like 330 seconds, which is 5.5 minutes. So if we can basically run all of this like every 5.5 minutes, so long as we don't do the redstone, everything should get processed. If we're going to do the redstone, that we probably would want to just set up a completely separate system purely for processing that. Okay, so if we did the redstone as well. That's a stack and 48, wasn't it? Times that by 10. That's 1,120 items to process. That alone would take 350 seconds, which is almost 4 minutes. Oh, I really, really don't want to set up a whole... I really don't want to double all of these up. Like, I will if I have to, but I really don't want to do it. Right, I am going to add to this. We said like every 5.5 minutes. That's like 5 minutes. How many ticks in 30 seconds? 600. Like every 5.5 minutes. That's 3 minutes 40. 4 minutes 3, 5 minutes 40. So that would be fine as it is, I think. And if we just wait for this to finish, which we're going to be here for a while. But on the plus side, we're going to have lots of redstone and rare earths. But that should be fine, I think. I am still going to do storage drives for each of these ores. And I think I'm going to make these raw ores visible to the main network. And that way we can set these to shut off when we go over a certain amount of those, or when we, under two conditions, when we go over a certain amount of those ores, or when we go over enough of the actual product that we're wanting from them. This is getting complicated. Put my anvil and soul workbench in the wrong place. If we do raw ilmenite, raw bauxite, raw aluminium, raw redstone, raw ruby, and raw cinnabar. Aluminium. Raw redstone. So we can what we can do, like we can always build all of this up as we like while just passively, and then we can process it later when we can process it quicker. Or we can process it, and then the minute we can just process it as we need stuff. Right, and these need to go in here. Right, scheelite. I don't get one too many overflow cards out. I guess so. All right, so that was the she light, right? And there's raw tungstate. And those go in there. All right, so we just need to make this. Do I want to make all of this visible? I guess we can do. I guess there's no reason not to. Right, so what we're going to have to do then is set this up in such a way that we can turn this off under multiple conditions. We can do that with laser nodes. All right, so hook all of these up together. I think I set that other one up wrong. Oh, no, I was right. Okay, so... Okay, so we need to do... redstone output there. And we need this to output a signal when either of these is emitting a signal, basically. So this is with the tungstate and scheelite. Since we should have... Oh, the weird one of this is, I guess, with the tungstate and scheelite, unless we're processing them all at the same time, we kind of need to check for all of them, I guess. Like for both tungstate and scheelite. We need to shut it off if either of them are over it. We need another emitter. So, right, we want this to emit a redstone signal when we've got over 8,000, over 8,192 titanium ingots, which is the final product we want from this. Or if we have over... How much can we store in a 16k cell? 130,000? Say 100 and... Let's just say 16,384. Scheelite. Or 16,384. Tungstate. Although it wants to be if either of these... I don't think that's going to work, is it? Because if we say we get an equal amount of tungstate and scheelite in, then it processes all the tungstate. We want it to be running. Oh no, I guess these need to be if they're below that number. They all need to be if they're below that number, I guess. And then that will turn that on. We're going to shut that off for now. But that will turn that on. Leave that on until all of these conditions are... No, but then if we don't want it to be... If all the conditions are met, though. This is awkward. I think we have to do it this way. So if it'll emit a redstone signal when any of these go over. So if we've got over 8,192 titanium, it'll shut off. If we have over 16,384 scheelite, it'll shut off. And if we have over 16,384 tungstate, it'll shut off. It's a little awkward because if we process one of these and not the other, that one will go down. But I think that's fine. I think that's okay. Because regardless of which one we are processing of this, we'll get tungsten out of it. So that will emit a redstone signal then. But we want this to invert. So that's going to have to be on not. So when none of these are giving a signal, that will. Although that's kind of awkward at the moment. What's that slot for? Oh, right. We can change the strength of the redstone signal needed. Oh, that's good. That's good to know, actually. But this we actually want this to be off at the moment. We don't want any of these working. Okay, so this one is the one that was doing what? Was this the redstone one? No, this was the ilmenite one. So this is for this. I was saying that was for doing this for titanium, but that's not titanium. This needs to be tungsten dust. This one needs to be the titanium. And this, what's the thing that we get the most of from this? I guess we'll do this based on the ilmenite. When we have over 16,384 ilmenites. Or we don't even need that much. We'll just drop that down to 8,192. And then we'll have to change that to an output, obviously, when it's ready. How's this slot doing? Oh God, I've still got so much left to process. And then we do the same here. And this one is for... Basically going to be for... We're checking for chromium here. That's the important bit. I think should be checking for the raw ruby. Keep shift clicking on these. And same on that one. I didn't even bother putting redstone cards in these at all, apparently. Okay. So those should work. We really need this to hurry the hell up. Although it's not going to, is it? It's gonna take a while regardless. Process all of that. Okay, well, while we're waiting for that to finish processing, let's figure out what else we need to do. Did I not pick up? No, I didn't. Okay. Right, I'll do... We still need to do the iridium-plated microminer. Can we actually make this at the moment? Is there anything that's going to be holding us back? Depends what we need for the field generators, I guess. But otherwise, mostly we should be fine.
Oh, I see. Running away, eh? You yellow bastard!
No worries, Quiet. Feel better soon. Honestly, I think I'm going to be calling it a day in a minute or two anyway. If I'm going to be calling it a day anyway, I may as well do it now. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I do massively appreciate it. I know there's been a lot of shorter streams lately. Hopefully they will get better soon. I'll let that finish, and I will probably test this out tonight. And hopefully get it to work. And hopefully I'm going to try and do another, like a bonus stream tomorrow to make up for the completely missed day on Tuesday. Whatever day it was. I will try and do a bonus stream then. And then hopefully we'll have all this sorted, and then we can start working on the tier 5 microminers and start getting our first Naquador, which is going to be fantastic. I don't think there's much more we can do until then. Like, we can start working on the assembly line later, which is something we do very much need to do. But that can be done later. But yeah, we'll start working on the tier 5 microminer next, and then hopefully we should be in good shape to just kind of get a lot more done. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here. I massively appreciate it. I will see you all hopefully tomorrow, if not next week. And if I don't see any of you tomorrow, have an amazing weekend and take care of yourselves.